Kelly, welcome to the Invisible Strength podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy that I got to meet you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into your story. You have had quite the journey.
Yes,
Chris, it's good to see you as always.
Always a joy to see you, Karin, and so excited to chat with you, Kelly.
thank you.
Likewise. So, Kelly, for anyone who doesn't know you yet, can you just share with us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So, my name is Kelly, like you mentioned, and I have lived with chronic pain and chronic illnesses for most of my life since I was about 13 years old. And recently, I had a spinal cord tumor that I had to undergo major extensive spine surgery for. And so I've just been recovering from that and trying to spread awareness and help others through their chronic pain, chronic illness journey through that as well.
Goodness, that sounds quite the ordeal.
It was a lot to go through, definitely.
Yeah. Kelly, can you share with us who you were and what your life looked like before your diagnosis and symptoms started appearing?
So I was around 13 when I first started experiencing symptoms of chronic illness issues. I had a lot of stomach pain. That was how it started. And before that, I was a very active, early teen. I did a lot of dance and cheerleading, just very active. And then slowly things had to start changing when you start dealing with sickness and pain. So, of course, my life did change after things got more serious. But before then, I was just a happy go lucky girl, just doing her thing.
I'm curious, when you go from such different modes of being, like from just being happy go lucky to not having to deal with this, very serious life change, how did you process it? Did you have to sort of get external help, like the adults in your life, to help you kind of understand what was going on? Or was there a part of you that just felt like, well, I'm sick now, but I won't be sick on the other side? Like, how did you deal with it?
Yeah. So, when I first started having symptoms, it all started with like stomach pain. And at the time, I was, 13, 14 years old. And I honestly didn't think it was going to be something that lasted a long time. I just thought, oh, I'm just having like some stomach issues, like it'll get better. And over the years, things, of course, got more severe, I guess you could say. But during that time when I first started having symptoms, I really didn't think much of it at the time. Like it obviously affected going to school. I was missing school a lot and doing activities that I wanted to do. But for the most part, I was just trying to push past it and still just be myself until obviously things over the years just kept kind of stacking up.
For
And
sure.
then you realize, okay, it's not going away. And you have to kind of adjust your perspective on things and adjust how you live your life.
hmm hmm
So,
No doubt.
Sounds like it was a long time with experiencing symptoms. When did you actually get diagnosed and what did that process look like?
so it was a long time to get a diagnosis. And I'm sure you guys have been through that in some way. You have a ton of different things going on. And so, of course, mine started with stomach issues. And I also had really painful periods. When I was like 16 years old, I had heard about endometriosis. And I was thinking, like, oh, maybe that's something I have. Like, I feel like I match every single symptom that you could have with endometriosis. And doctors would not take me seriously. They dismissed my pain. They just said that I just had bad periods and it'll get better as I get older. I had a lot of doctors in those early years dismiss me a lot. And that was really hard because I was obviously sick. And so I had really bad, painful periods. And then it turned into just a lot of like just stomach issues, stomach aches, acid reflux, nausea, just everything GI related. And they kept saying it was just IBS. And I would take IBS medications and it didn't work. And then probably 10 years after all my stomach issues and painful periods had started, I got a diagnosis of Crohn's disease. And then a couple of years after that, I had a finally take me seriously and did surgery to look for endometriosis, and they found endometriosis all over everything, all over my intestines, my ovaries. It was sticking to everything and it was causing so many issues. And I can't believe it took like 10 to 12 years to get somebody to find answers for those things. But sometimes it takes time and it's so frustrating because in that time, like you're still sick, you're still struggling, you're in pain, but there's nothing you can really do about it, and that's what's hard. So, it took a long time.
Yeah. Kelly, as you're sharing that, I'm thinking about just the data on the long diagnosis periods, particularly for women, and just thinking
Right.
about how long it takes doctors to just like wrap around their minds that like, no, I'm not making this up, or this isn't just extra
Not
heavy.
in my head, yeah.
Yeah, right. So in what ways did that sort of negotiation, so to speak, with the doctors of trying to convince them that, you were experiencing what you were experiencing, how did that affect you? Like, what did you notice about yourself as you're trying to make your case essentially with these doctors?
Yeah, I mean, at first, you have this confidence knowing that there's something wrong with you and you need answers, you need help. But over time, as doctors kind of keep dismissing you and telling you it's anxiety or telling you you're depressed or all these things and that they can't find anything, you start to doubt yourself and you start to doubt, like, is this in my head? Like, am I making this up somehow? Like, what's wrong with me? Like, and you just lose that belief and confidence in yourself. And because you're taught so early on to listen to your body. If something is happening to you, to tell somebody, get help. Like, but then when you are trying to get help and you're constantly dismissed, it makes you feel like I can't trust my body. I can't trust myself. So it really does take a toll mentally dealing with all of that.
Understandably so.
After having gone through all that, what work have you done to help reframe that where you can trust yourself again and kind of alleviate some of that self doubt that has crept in over the years?
Yeah, I think honestly, the hardest so like you have this belief in yourself and then all of a sudden it's like stripped down to nothing. And the best way I could describe it is your intuition and your gut is usually right about things. So even when I was 13, 14, 15, and I kept thinking to myself, like, I feel like it's endometriosis. Like, and I feel like I have Crohn's disease. Like, I feel like this is what's happening to me. And even though doctors were saying, like, no, 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 like, my gut was telling me, like, this is something that needs to be, like, looked into still. So even though I had that confidence stripped away a little bit, I still had that gut instinct of I need to be able to lean into that a little bit and still keep speaking up for myself
Hmm.
and finding the right doctor to take me seriously. Because a lot of times it's not really about you, it's about finding a doctor that's willing to fight for you and stand with you through the fight.
Absolutely. So once you got that diagnosis and you began treatment and your new rhythms, what did that new normal look like for you with now not just sort of wandering in the fog trying to plead your case, trying to understand what's going on, but now knowing what you're dealing with? What was your new normal like?
So I think something that's been tricky is that even when I'm sure you can also relate to this, is that even when I'm going through a lot, I still am trying to live my life.
Of course.
So even with the pain and the symptoms, I guess you could say I had this like I don't know, I just felt like I had to keep going and keep doing the best that I could with the circumstances. So of course things weren't the same as they were before, but I would find new hobbies and new things to find joy in those seasons as well. So I just kind of kept doing one day at a time, and of course, some days were definitely harder. Some days I couldn't get out of bed and had to just sit in that. But when I could do more, I just kept living my life and doing what I could.
Sometimes our bodies kind of force us to stay in bed, but other
Yes.
times it's more of a gray area of when to
Yeah.
push through and when you actually need to rest and recover. How have you navigated balancing needing to take care of yourself and pushing through?
Yeah. So I think over the years with that gray area of like, okay, you're feeling okay this day. So then you end up doing like 10 times the amount of things just to like make up for the last couple weeks or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Like you decide, okay, I'm just going to get all my cleaning done, all my errands done, and just go like full steam ahead.
That's right.
And I still do that. I guess I haven't learned my lesson with that exactly, but I think I've learned, and I get, like I said, I'm still learning, but I have realized that when you are having a better day, you do need to take advantage of it because you don't know when that next good day is going to be. So I kind of do like increments. So like if I'm feeling okay in the morning, I'll do a couple of things that I want to get done. Like have priorities. What's most important for me to get done? What would make me feel the best mentally to have done today? And then I might rest on the couch for an hour or so after that. And then if I'm feeling okay, like I feel like my energy is trying to come back, then maybe I'll do something else and I'll come back and lay down. So it's a lot of doing things and then resting. So it's just like a back and forth.
Find that a lot of us are aspiring to find out exactly what we need to do to pace ourselves, but that's the real challenge. It's like once you have that good day, you just want to get right to it, but you got to be kind to yourself and pace it for sure.
It's such a hard balance because you just want to just do everything, you
Hmm.
know? And then, of course, you have times where you can't get anything done.
Right.
And all you can do is rest and take care of yourself and hydrate and eat nourishing foods and just be the best you can to your body as it's struggling and trying to fight, which that's also hard to have patience for too, because you might have to cancel plans or you know, put your body first when mentally you're like, no, I want to, go on a hike. I want to ride
Hmm.
my bike. I want to do something else. I don't want
Yeah.
to sit in the house all day. It's beautiful. you know? But so it's that weird, like, balance gray area. And I'm still trying to figure it out. But I hope I'm doing better at it than I was 10 years ago. But I don't know.
What sort of supports do you have around you? Whether it's like people or like, if you find yourself getting ready to do too much, like what supports do you have in place to keep you, in a good rhythm?
Yeah. So I have wonderful family and an amazing husband. And a lot of times he'll see me overdoing it. He just knows at this point, like he's been with me from the beginning pretty much through all of this.
Yeah, yeah.
And so at this point, he knows my like signs of exhaustion, even when I'm pushing past it.
Hmm.
And he'll be like, hey, Kelly, maybe you should not do that right now. And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine. He's like, no, you need to go lay down. Like, please go lay down before you make things worse.
Hmm.
So sometimes he has to kind of help me realize I need to slow down before I
Yeah.
even can figure that out. And of course he will help around the house and do things that, I can't do. And that has been so helpful, especially when going through really bad flare-ups or surgeries or procedures. It's really nice to have such great support in
Mhm.
that way.
Most definitely.
And it
Wonder
helps to also know that like a lot of times you feel like you're a burden when you have to like slow down.
Yeah.
And when you slow down, you're just thinking like, this is a waste of time. Like, what am I doing here? Like, I feel like a burden. I can't do anything. I can't cook. I can't do what I want to do. But having that support system to always make you feel like, no, you're still valuable. You
Mhm.
are still like worthy of being
Mhm.
here, even when you can't show up like you want to show up. To me, that is worth everything. You know?
And I love that you lift up that whole feeling of being a burden because I think that's a challenge that we all go through, and actually feeds us doing too much when we have that one
Yes.
good day. 'Cause like, now I can make up for all the days I couldn't do anything, and it's a
Yeah,
disaster.
exactly.
But I'm so glad you lifted up because I think so many of us in the community need to hear that we are not a burden, and that hopefully
Absolutely.
you're in community, or if not, that you find a community of folks who can look at you and not feel like you're a flake if you have to cancel the plan at the last
Yeah.
minute or if you're unable to do what you just did the other day. So thank you for looking
Yeah.
that's a really important part of this for sure.
Yeah, and even when I was younger, it was a lot harder back then because I
Mhm.
was a teenager and you're in high school and,
Right.
you're supposed to be hanging out with your friends. And
Mhm.
I guess you could say I was like a flaky friend because I was always like, "Oh yeah, like let's go to that football game. Let's go do this." And then last minute I'd be like, "I cannot leave the house."
Right.
Like I literally can't leave the house.
Right.
And I lost a lot of friends through that.
Mhm.
And so when you do find good support and people that do understand and make you feel like you're not a burden, it's a huge win.
No
Like
question.
huge.
With your support network around you, and you mentioned even unfortunately losing friends in your younger days, how has your communication evolved about your health with the people around you?
Yeah. So I think before I tried to hide my struggles and my flare ups. So it probably was what made it harder for my friends is they saw that I was canceling and they said that they saw that I would say I don't feel good, but they didn't, I don't think, knew the extent of how bad it really was. So as I've gotten older, I've realized that clear communication and just being completely honest is the best way. And so if you are being honest with your friends and they are not taking you seriously and they don't have empathy for you, then those are just not your people. And so I've learned that all I can do is just be very honest. And if that makes somebody upset, then that's not on me. I can't hold somebody else's emotions about that. I already have too much on my plate. And so I've learned to just realize like, this is the situation and I am a really good friend to other people. And if something happens where they are not understanding that I can't make it to an event or a situation, then that's just how it is. And you have to have people that truly understand and want to hear what you're saying when you say that you don't feel good. Because some people, it makes them uncomfortable when you're like, "Hey, I can't get out of bed today." They're like, "I don't
TMI.
I don't,"
For real.
and I'm like, "This is real life, like, I don't know what to tell you."
Yeah.
And everybody has struggles in life, so it's like, even if it's not a health struggle, like, there's other things going on, so you have to be, empathetic with everybody's situations, so and that's what true community is just seeing you, hearing you, and making you feel understood, so.
Most definitely. How has what you've gone through impacted your empathy for other people? Like, how have you noticed, like, the ways in which your compassion shows up as a result of, these circumstances?
Yeah. I think having the compassion that I do it's been life-changing. I feel like that's one of the biggest blessings that came out of dealing with so much adversity is just knowing that if I'm struggling with these things, I know that other people also struggle with health stuff as well, and I know how hard it is to walk through that every day and to deal with the unknowns and the fears and doubts of the future. And so just going through my own issues, I've just learned so much compassion over the years. Like if someone's like, "Hey, my stomach hurts," I'm like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay? Like what can I do to help you?"
Right, right. What do you
You're
mean?
not alone.
That's right.
And they're like, "No, I just had like a bad lunch." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I know what you're going through and I'm here to help you if you
That's
need it."
right. That's awesome. They're like, whoa, she really, really cares.
I really, really
Yeah.
care because life is so hard and at any moment anybody can become disabled. Anybody can
Absolutely.
become chronically ill. So, I feel like you have to have that empathy and that compassion towards everybody because you
No
don't know
question.
what they're going through, you know? So,
Sure. Kelly, you've been through some really scary, trying times. How has faith helped you through your journey?
so my faith is everything to me. I remember I've always believed in God and always kept that close to my heart, but going through all of the health challenges that I've been through, even from being really young, I was like, there has to be some sort of purpose. Like, there has to be meaning in this. And the only way I could find meaning when I felt so helpless was through my belief in God. So if I didn't have that faith, I honestly don't know where I would be today. I truly like when I think about that, it scares me because I really don't know if I would have made it through any of the stuff that I went through, to be honest. And my faith gives me peace through times where you would just want to break down and hide. So I have found so much peace and comfort in my faith. It has helped me so much.
I think about this even when people are in recovery and they're told to, hold on to some sense of like a higher power. And I think about the role of faith, particularly in moments of catastrophe, being this sort of like anchor or even a
Yeah.
lighthouse. Mix the metaphor a little bit,
Yeah.
just allows a person to know like, all isn't lost. And then they
Yeah.
can use that to sort of guide themselves back home. So thank you for lifting
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah. There's a Bible verse and it says, "Count it all joy when
Hmm.
you go through trials of many kinds,"
Yeah.
because those trials create that perseverance and it builds your character and it makes you who you are.
Yeah.
So to me, I keep that very close to me. Whenever I'm going through something, I'm like, okay, what can I learn from this experience? What can I get out of this? What can I literally squeeze out of this to make it worth going through?
Hmm.
Because it's like, if I'm going to be going through this anyway, I might as well try my hardest to find some sort of meaning, purpose, and value in this so that when I get out of it, I feel like it wasn't a waste of time. Like I got something from that. And I'm a better person, a better version of myself because of those things.
Hmm.
Because without all those adversities, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I'm
Yeah.
very proud of the strength that I have today. But it's only because of all those trials and those struggles, you know?
And
So,
you're talking about this strength and the perseverance and needing to be grateful for your prior self because you wouldn't be who you are today. I'm still learning that you may not always see the purpose or the why when you're
yes,
in the moment, but having that faith that you will see it eventually, it's just not clear right now.
yes. And that's exactly true. Like having faith doesn't mean that you're going to know why things are happening. That's not the case at all. Like when you have that faith, it's knowing that whatever I'm going through is going to have some sort of meaning. And I might not know it right now, but in the future, I'll know why I had to go through that.
Hmm.
And I think that that's probably the best mindset you can have when going through health struggles or any challenges in life.
Hmm.
Because if you can just realize like, okay, I don't know why this is happening, like would I choose this for myself? No. But I'm hoping that there's some sort of plan at the end of this where this was part of my story that had to happen to get me to where I need to be.
That's it. Yeah, I think people often want to skip whatever the process is, even if it isn't something that's inherently catastrophic. But there's so much about who we are, to your point, Kelly, that could not be if we didn't go through some sort of challenge, if we didn't suffer to some degree. And I think people greatly underestimate the importance of adversity in their own development.
Yeah. And it takes practice to have that gratitude.
Yeah.
It it definitely doesn't come easy.
Mm-mm.
Like just we're human. Like it's not easy to be like, "Well, I have this terrible health issue. Let me be grateful for
Right, 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 right. That's right. Not a thing you
But
necessarily want to hear from someone else either, right?
like you're like, "Good job, you have lupus." Okay.
Exactly, exactly. Congrats.
But I think that with practice, when you practice that mindset, it makes a world of a difference. And I'm sure you can, understand that too. Like I learned from a young age, like I kept fighting the struggles, like every new symptom, every pain, like every day. I was like, why is this happening? Why can't I do what I want to do? Why can't I dance? Why can't I go hang out with my friends? Like, why is this happening? And then at some point, I realized, why am I like fighting these struggles?
Mhm.
I need to just realize, like, whether I like it or not, it's happening. And I need to change my perspective around it because fighting it is not making it better. It's just making me feel worse, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because when you're fighting it, you're just like, you're going against the grain. Like you're creating more anxiety, more depression, more emotion negatively towards that scenario. And if you just like let go and you're just like, okay, I can't control this, so I'm going to let go of that control. But what I can control is my mindset and my perspective around this.
Mhm.
And you start to just feel this almost like a relief, this peace that overcomes you because you're like, I don't have to control that. And I can't control that. I can't control what my body's going to do every day.
Totally.
That's too much on me to figure out. I can't do that.
Mhm. Mhm.
So if you just let go, and it takes practice, of course, like it is hard to do that because we want to control it, you know. But if you can control your perspective around it, it'll change your life.
No doubt. No doubt.
Talking about changing your perspective, I'm curious about what other ways you've adapted over the years to better cope with all of this.
Yeah. So probably about maybe 8 years ago, I would say, I actually hit a pretty low point, like emotionally and mentally with everything.
Mhm.
I don't really think it was like one thing. It was kind of just over the years, just years of struggle and pain. And it just like got to a point where it just caught up with me, I think. And I was very depressed. I didn't want to leave my house. And I felt like I couldn't leave my house because I was scared that leaving my house would cause more pain and
Mhm.
more flare ups. So I kind of like put myself in like this little bubble. I was like, if I don't leave my house, I'm safe. Like, you know, like I'm going to deal with my normal pains, but I won't make it worse if I just stay here.
Mhm.
And so I started therapy. And I was going to therapy like a couple times a week at that point, just trying to help my mindset. And that really helped my perspective as well, because I was able to process all the things that I went through in a healthier way. And it helped me clear out some of that fog that I was feeling emotionally.
Mhm.
So therapy really helped with that perspective as well as my faith. But therapy really helped being able to talk things out
Mhm.
and find new coping mechanisms. And instead of having the mindset of like, why is this happening to me? I kind of switched my mindset of like, things don't happen to you, they happen for you.
Mhm.
So if you can recognize that, it will help you because when things happen to you, you're like, why me? Why me?
Yeah.
But when you have something happen for you, you can switch your mindset and think, okay, this is happening in my favor somehow. I have no idea what the purpose is, but I know down the road it will get better
Mhm.
and there will be a purpose when I look back at it. And so I think that finding new perspectives just with like therapy and reading books and things with mindset just helped me realize that I didn't have to stay a victim.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm so glad you lift up the importance of therapy because as a minister, I'm always saying that I view therapists and mental health professionals as partners in taking care of
yes.
people. And I think sometimes
Yes.
people feel like I got to choose between like, is it unfaithful to go to
Yeah.
therapy? No, it is very
God
faithful
or
to take care of your own
therapy. Yeah.
self. You know, it has to be God or therapy. You
Yes.
wouldn't skip going to the emergency room if you had a cut. Like
Yes.
go take care of yourself.
Yes. And at the time, I was conflicted, honestly. I'm glad that you
Sure.
brought that up
Mhm.
because I was thinking, I pray all the time. I'm very into my faith, but why am I still in that anxiety, that crippling anxiety where I felt like I could not do anything?
Right, right.
And I remember my doctor telling me, maybe you should look into therapy. And at first I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then I went and first of all, not every therapist is going to work for you. It's just like doctors.
Right.
You have to find the right therapist that,
Mhm.
you know, is going to help nurture your thoughts in the right way. So once I found a good therapist, I was like, okay, I'm locked in. I got this.
Yes.
But with therapy, what a lot of people might not know is that you have to do the work. So like, you can go to therapy and they can give you the tools in the tool belt, but you have to actually implement those things and keep trying to get better. Because just going to therapy and talking things out isn't going to just magically change things.
Right.
So you
Exactly.
have to put those things into action.
Mhm.
But
It's a
it it
tool in the
was
toolkit.
it was amazing. Yeah. It was absolutely amazing for me. So and shortly after that, I moved to Utah, so
Come
it
on.
really helped.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in therapy. It helped me tremendously as well. So I
Mhm.
encourage anyone who's feeling like they're in that low, foggy state, like at least try it. Be open to it.
Absolutely. Yeah, at least try it because you don't know, like, it could be the best thing that ever happened to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Kelly, in what other ways have you supported yourself mentally or physically from a lifestyle standpoint?
So, a couple of years ago, I started working out, and that I think was a good outlet mentally because I figured if I can try to make myself stronger, then maybe going through the flare-ups that I have wouldn't be as difficult. Maybe if my body had more strength, then maybe I could get through these flare-ups a little bit better. Or there's a lot of times where you're hospitalized and you can't move much. There's times where you have to go through surgeries and not be able to do much. And then there's also times where you're in a flare-up and you can't move. So I figured the times that I'm able to move my body, I wanted to prioritize that. And that
Mhm.
also helped mentally as well, just to like feel like I was doing something to help, even if it's not going to cure my illnesses, but it has to help in some way. Like that was my thought behind it. And then also finding new hobbies that fit where you are in the season of your life that you're in. So I used to be able to like ride my bike a lot or do like a lot of active stuff. And
Mhm.
then I had my spine surgery and you can't do any of that stuff after spine surgery.
No
It
chance.
you cannot do anything really active like that.
Wow, wow.
So at that point I was thinking, what can I do to help myself mentally through this because I'm going crazy just not doing anything.
For
And
sure.
so I started baking bread. And so I learned how to make sourdough bread. And if you don't know anything about sourdough, it's a slow process. It's a very like you do something and then you let it rest for a little bit. And then you do something else and you let it rest. This is perfect. I don't have to like stand over the stove for an hour. I can mix up the dough and then you let it rest for an hour. And you come back and then you do some more with it and you rest again. So it really helped to have a hobby that slowed down while I was having to slow down. And that
Mm.
also
Mhm.
helped mentally because different seasons of your life, different times of your life with chronic illness, it's kind of like a roller coaster. And you have to try to find ways to adapt with those ups and downs. So, like maybe this part of my season, I can't be as active, but I can find joy in new things, new hobbies that still make me feel productive in some way.
For sure.
I have to tell you, I'm all in on the sourdough game.
I love it.
Y'all gonna trade starters now.
It's great. Yes. My starter's so strong now. It wasn't before, but I got her stronger.
There it is.
But I mean, it's a great hobby because it helps you slow down. It's very therapeutic in that way. It's not anything you have to rush. I'm like, this is great for me because I can't rush anything right now.
Right.
It's a good comparison to how we are in our bodies. You just gotta slow down and take it in increments.
Sincerely.
Yeah. Like if I went outside right now and tried to be as active as I was 8 months ago, it's like that's not gonna happen. Like you're just gonna hurt yourself. So you
Right.
have to and that's something I learned too over the years is not that you're letting your illness define you, but you're learning to work with your illness,
Heard.
with your pain.
Mhm.
So it's not you and your body against each other. It's how can we work together to make this work, to make this be okay? So like if my body needs to be slow and more fragile and gentle, then I need to also do things in my life that are going to protect that as well and try to follow along with that as well
Mhm.
instead of trying to always fight against it.
Yeah. We had another guest on the show say you're never going to heal if you're telling yourself your body is attacking itself. Yeah, so I appreciate the reframe and the shift in that it's like, no, our bodies are just trying to tell us something and we have to work
Yes.
together to figure out how to support ourselves.
Yeah, your body is not the enemy. It's trying to tell you something's wrong. And as much as you're trying to help it by trying to fight against it, like that doesn't work. Like
Mm-mm.
it just makes things worse. Like you're just going to end up in more of a deeper flare than you already were if you're trying to constantly fight it. And so we have to learn to just work together nicely with our
Yeah.
body. As
Yes.
frustrating as it is, because to be honest, sometimes I'm like, what are you doing, body? Like, why are you? I fed you, I gave you water,
Right.
I walked outside, I got some sunlight. What do you want from me?
That's it. That's it.
It's like you can do everything right and still end up in a flare.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you have to just kind of go with the ebbs and flows of how your body is going, which is frustrating. It takes a lot of patience.
Mhm.
It's not easy at all. It takes a lot of practice.
I couldn't agree more.
For sure.
Kelly, I want to ask, what does invisible strength mean to you?
To me, invisible strength is it's the strength that you can't really see. So people around you, they don't know that you're fighting these battles. They don't know that you're going through some of the worst pain of your life, but it's that inner strength of waking up each day and just doing the best that you can in each moment that comes up. So that little instinct, that little like intuition that keeps you going. And to me, that would be my faith. That's my invisible strength that people probably wouldn't see by looking at me, but that's what keeps me going. And that's what gives me the confidence and the peace to keep doing the best that I can.
Love that. Well said. Kelly, for people who want to follow you and get to know you better, where can they find you on socials?
So I'm on Instagram, and TikTok, and YouTube. My handle is it's.kellyjones. And on YouTube, I believe it's .kellypatricia.
We'll confirm and check out the description for the
Yes.
specifics. Well, Kelly, you've had quite the journey, and I really appreciate you being so open and honest with us today.
Mhm. Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having me on here. It made my day talking to you guys.
Yes.
Likewise.
It's so important to raise awareness and just help people feel less alone through all this stuff. And I think what you guys are doing is really amazing. So keep doing it.
Thank you. That's our
Thank you.
goal. For our listeners, be sure to check out invigorateyourjourney.com to help you navigate through your own journey. We will see you next Wednesday. Take care. Peace.
Peace, y'all.